we've been talking about growing salads and things at home and herbs, but I just want to sort of mention that you can even grow grains at home in the garden and on the allotment. This is the first time I've actually grown a grain other than oats and barley, which are really easy to grow, but they're not sustainable crops. This is amaranth, and it's actually a mixed coloured amaranth, so you get yellows, reds and white stems. And we're going to plant this out this week, probably tomorrow, and I can get a close-up in there, Steve, of the beautiful colours of the stems that it's growing on. And these would grow in a border, or they grow on an allotment, and they get to about 3 feet high, and then they put huge flower spikes on them near the tops of the stems, sort of pyramid shaped flower spikes. One single plant of amaranth yields 2,000 seeds, which you can then use to make a meal with, and also save some seeds too to then plant again the next year. And I'm just so excited to be able to experiment with growing crops that are sustainable, because wheat wasn't actually a native of this country many years ago. It was an import, so therefore we're not designed to eat it and digest it very well, which is why a lot of people have a wheat intolerance. Okay, so to try to go back to eating grains that our bodies are genetically designed to digest and utilise is a really good opportunity. And I think we'll be documenting the growth of these plants and then the harvesting of them to see how exciting and how tasty they're going to be. Okay, and then another plant that I'd like to talk about very quickly is hemp. And these again need planting out, and a lot of people will probably go, oh, that's cannabis. It is actually a member of the cannabis family. This is a plant that we used to grow widely in the UK. Like I say, it's called hemp, okay, but it's not the medicinal or hallucinogenic hemp that you would smoke. This is purely grown for its uses as a plant that we can actually make cloth from. Okay, so primarily we would grow it to make a yarn, and you can probably see how thick these stems are getting, and they're getting really quite firm. This is also a plant, this gets to about 10 feet tall. One single plant is about 10 feet tall. It's a plant that requires no pesticides, it has no pest problems, it requires no fertilizers, so therefore it is a sustainable plant to grow. We're going to experiment again and just play with this plant this year and see how easy it would be to extract the tissue from inside the stems when they're fully ready to harvest, and then see if we can actually make some string. Okay, and if we can make like a ropey string, we can then look to grow more next year in a larger demonstration plot, and harvest it on a slightly wider scale to see if we can make paper, or to see if we can make a little bit of animal bedding, for example. If we can make a bit more yarn with it, we might even be able to make a little coaster or something, you know. We're not going to be able to, off our small piece of land here, harvest enough to make a jacket or anything like that. But it's just for the pure experimental value that we can grow these crops so people can come and learn about different ways of doing things. And then a broader scale, we can collectively look at being able to grow it on a field scale to actually, you know, gain a larger harvest of it to make, you know, more things.
Now hemp, you talked about being a sustainable plant, but it's so versatile. You can use every part of the plant in a healing way.
Yeah.
Certainly you can make an oil, and hemp oil.
Yeah, hemp seed oil
is wonderful for skin problems. So eczema, psoriasis, inflammatory type things. You know, and you would use the flowers for that, would you?
Yeah, the seed of the flowers. Yes,
to make the hemp seed oil.
And you can eat hemp seed as well. We're experimenting nutritionally on ourselves at the minute using hemp seed every morning, because it contains a larger percentage of protein than any meat. and it has a far better fats than olive oil. And it keeps you really full.
The
when
fats
you eat them a day.
are really important, aren't they? I mean, this is in talks and workshops that I do in schools, in supporting young people with challenging behaviours. Very often, a lot of research has gone into the fact that the balance of their essential fatty acids, something called omega-3, 6 and 9, is out of balance. And of course, the hemp seed oil has got that, like flaxseed oil, has got it in the perfect ratios,
totally
so
perfect,
the body can work with it just as it is.
Yep.
To help that very situation. An amazing plant.
It is, and it's just so pretty. So I'm going to really be excited to plant that out as well. Okay. There we go.